Today is important because today we're locking in and using the full body rig. I'm stoked because I own the thing and I barely ever use it. So today we're going to use it and get some good sleep. You're going to see me from the past 7 days. Peace. Today is May 20th, 2025. 21st, May 22nd, jackkadis. And my name is 2025. It's 2025 and today's date is May 3rd. 2-4. It is May 25th, 2025. Today is May 20. Oh, yikes. 25th. I think it's the 26th, even though, yeah, today's the 26th. May 26th, 2025. All right, so we just reached our halfway point. This is gonna be a bit of an interesting video because, well, we are on the full body rig mount for this camera, meaning meaning my arms are meaning my shoulders and my arms aren't tired, but it's rather my core is going to have to be doing a lot of the work here, and that's cool, you know. I'm with that. And I don't have to worry about so much staying in the front of this frame, so to speak, because this is for YouTube, so it's landscape. And here goes a 10-minute video. Once what you can expect or look forward to in this video is if I'm able to get back to my apartment within the next 10 minutes, I will likely head straight to the bathroom as to show you this crazy rig. I even have my phone flashlight mounted to it. And I'm pretty happy about it because it combines a lot of things into one, and that makes for, sorry, this is my keys rattling. If I can maybe tuck them in here. Combines into one to make this sort of like, just this thing that makes sense, right? Because I make YouTube, right? And I want to keep doing YouTube, right? So then I think, well, I want to keep doing YouTube, and what YouTube is to me is always improving, right? And so we always improve where it's not always about like the videos, it's also about getting out there and walking, you know? So let's combine the two. And I did, and it's made it so I walk every day, and that's awesome. And I you know, it's this full circle moment where I bought all this gear a year ago. And I honestly went broke to buy it all. It's very, very expensive. And I just sort of like, maybe if you're a girl, you can relate to like buying a really nice dress and never wearing it. Or if maybe you're a guy, you just buy gadgets, like you've bought things with big dreams and they kind of just sit, you know? They sit kind of empty. So that's sort of what's going on here with this is I bought this and it sat, you know, and even 2 weeks ago I brought it out onto my desk and just charged it up. You know, I was just like, I want to charge this thing up. And yesterday night, I ended up, my GoPro, I've been using GoPros to film these, and I love GoPros because they process the audio great, the colors are fantastic, they're very small, and they film, you know, when you rotate, the biggest pro to use a GoPro, at least for the shorts, is that they rotate the video already to the right resolution when you film rotated, and that's awesome. That worked very well with me, and I used them for a couple weeks. But yesterday night, you know, sometimes they'd just be dead. Sometimes I forget to charge them, right? So yesterday night I go to you and I'm like, oh, the GoPro's dead. And you can always film while you charge them, right? If I were to put a backpack on and run a wire, and use like a laptop as a portable charger, I could do that. But what was happening in my mind was just like, I don't know, a mix of things. Like I think when it's good to have a routine, but routines are scary because how am I supposed to know what I'm supposed to be doing, right? So while it's bad for me to stay up this late, you know, it's good for me to experiment with new things. And I don't want to say like, I just don't want to get the lines crossed up, mixed, and confused. I don't want to attribute me discovering that I now actually have a place to use this expensive equipment with the fact that I decided to stay up late and treat my body wrong, right? I should be waking up with the sun and all that, but I do want to at least like say that this is a good thing that happened to me. And I guess maybe it's like when there's a good thing that happened to me, it's also important that I say also there's lots of bad things that happen to me, right? Like I need to get better sleep, you know? So we're at the 4-minute mark. I'm trying to walk home as fast as I can because I want to show you this rig in the mirror, but maybe I can mount, dude, this is so cool because maybe I can mount like a GoPro to this. Like, maybe I can mount a GoPro up behind me. Imagine what that would look like. I mean, this is just awesome video making. I feel like I'm able to capture a lot here, and I love this, dude. I feel like I have this good feeling about this. Like, we're taking the steps that are eventually going to result in like people interviewing me, like, how did you end up making it finally? You know, like, look at me out here with all this equipment. Like, why did it take me a year to start to use this with like kind of the really real feeling of like I really am gonna actually use this tomorrow, because it's true. I really am gonna use this tomorrow. Wow. The thing about this is I feel like I gotta check out for the weather, because once again the GoPros are weatherproof. But that, you know, that's a good thing that I have that GoPro option for weatherproofness. And I'm sure I can pay attention to weather. You know, also, I don't think it'd be the end of the absolute world if it started raining while I had this. Like, there's places I can go for cover. And like, yes, while this equipment is not waterproof, it's probably okay to get rained on. Probably. Like, it would probably survive if I wasn't able to find shelter. Because it's like, you know, the engineers for cameras have to imagine people are going to want to take pictures of stuff in unfavorable environments. And it's scary, I gotta admit. It's scary for me because this equipment represents so much of my net worth. Like, all this equipment I could not replace at all. This equipment is worth like so much money, and it's scary. I also just kind of gotta be a beast mode about it. My shadow right now in the grass is dope too, because it's like everything's in action sort of. So I hope this looks relatively steady. I don't know if it does. I hope that it does. It's a weird method of stabilization because your arms do a pretty fantastic job of stabilizing, I have to admit. But when you kind of take the work away from your arms, you're more dependent on like how soft you step, I guess. And I have very hard steps. My feet hit the ground very hard. And unevenly, I might add. Like my how do I explain this? Like my walking pattern, like my left side is like, I'm not very symmetrical, I feel like. So I feel like it registers a lot, because this camera, while yes, has springs and a suspension system and a full gimbal, it's mounted at my hip. And my hips, like, my hips don't lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shakira knew it was up. My hips be rocking. So it's just kind of interesting how this works. I think in the future, I want to get a light that mounts to the top of the camera, and also a lav mic. I think that'll sound a lot better, especially in a situation like this, when I'm over the highway, because it's probably a lot harder to hear me now that there's cars rushing underneath me. But, and of course I'm going to be in New York City, so that's going to be very loud. But the phone, you know, the mount for the phone is very awesome. I have it, and I used it, and it's working, and yeah, it's just a giant street light ahead of, like, above me right now that's lighting up my face, but in the moments where it has been dark, the phone light has done a good bit. And I already did my drone footage today. One piece of the puzzle that's missing right now is a time lapse. I think it's very awesome it makes a lot of sense for me to be time lapsing my podcast. I think they make for a great time lapse. And I'd like to do that. But we're kind of arriving home right now, and I'm at the 9-minute mark. So I guess also I wear a bike helmet just because I had all this gear on, and my bike helmet was right there on the counter, and I thought, why not? Might as well add one thing, right? And as I get home, I'm gonna cut this thing off in like 20 seconds. So it'll be off. Actually, I might just run it late. No. Always stop at 10 minutes when you can, and I will. So this is definitely a good video, and I will certainly see you in tomorrow's video. So adios, my friends, and peace out, bro.